If you're over 60 and you have even one of these warning signs, your knees ache when you stand up in the morning, you've caught yourself grabbing the railing more often, or you feel winded after one flight of stairs, please listen carefully. In Germany, 1 in 3 adults your age will fall this year. About 60% are already living with at least 2 chronic conditions, and 22% are quietly losing muscle mass so fast they're at high risk of losing their independence. But in Okinawa, Japan, older adults in the 1970s had stroke rates 40% lower and heart disease rates 80% lower than Americans the same age. They weren't taking expensive medications. They weren't doing extreme diets. They followed 5 eating rules, so simple, you'll wonder why no one told you sooner. Japan today counts 92 centenarians for every 100,000 citizens. The United States counts just 27. And the most counterintuitive rule of all, rule number 1, actually contradicts everything mainstream diet culture has told you about calories. But before we reveal that, let's start with the foundation that makes everything else work. Rule number 5 is a phrase older Okinawans have repeated at the dinner table for centuries. Hara Hachi Bu. Eat until you are 80% full, then stop. This sounds too simple to be true, but wait until you hear the numbers. Traditional Okinawan elders, studied extensively by doctors Bradley Wilcox and the Okinawa Centenarian Study beginning in 1975, consumed roughly 30% fewer total calories per day than adults in mainland Japan. Their body mass index settled naturally between 18 and 22, the exact range associated with the lowest chronic disease risk in late life. This is not magic willpower. This is biology. The stomach takes about 20 minutes to signal the brain that it is full. If you stop at 80%, by the time the signal arrives, you land at 100%. Never overshoot. Here is how to practice it tonight. Use a smaller plate, roughly 9 inches across, instead of the standard American 12. Put down your fork between bites. Halfway through the meal, pause for 60 seconds and ask yourself, am I still hungry, or am I just eating because food is in front of me? Within 1 week, your waistband loosens. Within 1 month, morning energy returns. This portion control works even better when combined with rule number 4's specific food choice. Rule number 4, make fish your primary protein, not red meat. Japanese adults average 2 to 3 servings of fish per week, while the typical American eats fish less than once a week and red meat almost daily. The Japan Public Health Center study, which tracked over 40,000 adults for more than a decade, found that those eating the most marine omega-3s had a 20 to 30% lower risk of fatal coronary heart disease. But the older Okinawans took this even further. Their coronary heart disease rates ran 80% lower than age-matched Americans. Your cardiologist won't tell you this plainly. Fatty fish like mackerel, sardines, and salmon deliver EPA and DHA, 2 omega-3 fatty acids, that lower triglycerides, reduce arterial inflammation, and stabilize heart rhythm. Red meat delivers saturated fat that hardens arteries over decades. You do not need expensive sushi. A can of sardines costs under $1. A small fillet of mackerel, baked with lemon, takes 12 minutes. Within day 3, blood triglycerides begin shifting. Within 1 month, blood pressure often drops a few points. This is not a miracle. This is basic biochemistry. But fish alone isn't enough. Rule number 3 adds a fermented twist that 70% of Japanese seniors use daily. Subscribe if you're tired of mainstream health advice that leaves you sicker and broker. The 5 rules you just learned are only the beginning. There's a whole library of what your doctor will never tell you. Rule number 3, eat fermented foods every single day. According to national dietary surveys from Japan's Ministry of Health, more than 70% of Japanese adults consume miso soup at least once per day, many of them twice. Pickled radish, natto, and fermented soybeans appear at nearly every traditional breakfast. This is not a fringe wellness trend in Tokyo. This is mainstream behavior across 125 million people. So what is fermentation actually doing inside you? When bacteria like lactobacillus break down soybeans or vegetables, they predigest the food, multiplying B vitamins, vitamin K2, and bioactive peptides that your body absorbs more easily than the raw original. They also deliver live probiotic strains directly into your gut, where roughly 70% of your immune system lives. Within day 1 of daily miso or sauerkraut, the gut microbiome begins shifting. Within 3 weeks, studies from Stanford published in 2021 show measurable drops in inflammatory markers like interleukin-6 and C-reactive protein. A bowl of miso soup costs about 30 cents to make at home. 1 tablespoon of miso paste, hot water, a few cubes of tofu, a sprinkle of green onion. This is not folk medicine. This is your gut receiving what it needed. This daily fermented ritual pairs perfectly with rule number 2, which might be the easiest change you can make starting tomorrow. Rule number 2, build every meal around vegetables, not around meat. The Western dinner plate places a slab of protein at the center and treats vegetables as a small green decoration on the side. The traditional Japanese plate flips this entirely. Vegetables, seaweed, and tubers occupy the majority of the surface. Protein appears in modest portions, often just 2 or 3 ounces. And here is what 99% of Americans don't understand about traditional Okinawan eating. Before Westernization arrived after World War II, Okinawan elders derived an estimated 60% of their daily calories from purple and orange sweet potatoes, called imo, not rice, not meat, sweet potatoes. The remaining calories came from green leafy vegetables like goya, bitter melon, daikon radish, and small amounts of soy. Animal products contributed less than 5% of calories. The lesson isn't to eat sweet potatoes for every meal. The lesson is variety and volume. Aim for 3 different vegetables on your plate at lunch and dinner. A cup of steamed broccoli, half a roasted sweet potato, and a side of sautéed spinach costs under $2 combined. Within 1 week, digestion improves. Within 3 months, cholesterol numbers often shift meaningfully. But here is where it gets controversial. Rule number 1 actually contradicts what most diet gurus tell you about calories. Save this video if you have a parent or grandparent over 60 who needs to see it, because the person closest to you might be the one who needs this message most. A landmark 15-year study published in the BMJ tracked 79,594 Japanese adults and found that those who most closely followed Japan's national dietary guidelines had a 15% lower all-cause mortality risk. But here is the paradox. Those high-adherence eaters actually consumed slightly more total calories than the low-adherence group. They lived longer while eating more. How? Because food quality and distribution matter more than calorie math. The traditional macro split runs roughly 9 to 10% protein, 6 to 7% fat, and 80% carbohydrate from whole plants, with less than 3% of calories from saturated fat. Your nutritionist will rarely tell you this plainly. A calorie of sweet potato is not the same as a calorie of donut. Stop counting, start curating. Plants, fish, fermented foods, modest portions. But before you rush to change everything, there is a critical warning about why this only works as a complete system. The centenarians of Okinawa didn't just eat differently, they lived differently. And the question isn't whether you can follow 5 simple rules. It's whether you're willing to question everything you've been told about what keeps us alive. The answer might be simpler than you think, but it's waiting for you to discover it. But here's the critical part. When Japanese families migrate to the United States, their rates of heart disease, breast cancer, and prostate cancer rise toward American levels within just 1 to 2 generations. Same genetics, different food, different walking patterns, different social fabric. Even inside Okinawa, younger generations eating American-style fast food have lost the longevity advantage their grandparents enjoyed. Diet alone is not the whole answer. Japan also offers universal healthcare, low-income inequality, dense walkable neighborhoods, and tight community ties that pull elders out of isolation every single day. So copy the 5 rules, yes. Smaller portions, fish twice a week, daily miso, vegetables at the center, quality over calorie math. But also walk to the store, call a friend, eat with someone. You will either start one rule tomorrow morning, or you will close this video and forget by dinner. Drop a comment right now. Which of the 5 rules will you try first? Continue with the Healthy Aging Mastery playlist, your complete guide to staying strong, steady, and independent. This is educational information, not medical advice.